Alright guys, the break is done, everything is over. Gotta love the reactions of the little ones. Alright, I'm going home. I've got other stuff to attend to this evening. I'm gonna let this guy go because he's obviously not paying attention for motorcycle. I guess he did, never mind. Alright, now for my least favorite part of the ride home, this crappy road that I work on where I can never turn left because traffic is so god-awful. But the plan is to get home, go do our general shopping, and get ready for another work day tomorrow. And then luckily I've got a new schedule, so I get to kick back and relax and have a couple of days off again to myself. Go ahead and just slow ride home. I've got nowhere to be in a hurry. Like I said, just shopping and the fun stuff with the family. Oh, but it has been a day. Needless to say, I'm tired. And yes, I do pronounce it funny. But yeah, I'm ready for bed. That is for sure. Go ahead and close the helmet up because again, I'm still testing video quality, seeing how everything's coming out with the noise of the bike as well as the helmet and everything else, making sure positioning is good. So hopefully all my video comes out well for you guys. The funny thing is that the microphone that I'm currently using with my setup, I may have explained in the first video, I may not have explained it fully, but this microphone's real cheap, not expensive at all. It's just kind of a temporary use microphone, but I've got 5 of them, and these ones have already done a great justice more than the $20 one that I bought. And of course, what are you doing, dude? Do you even know where you're going? No, not even a little bit. Come on. Wow, you have no clue where you're going at all. And if you're trying to get your hazards on, you sure ain't doing a good job. Stand people like that. If you don't know how to drive, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're doing, just don't get on the road, man. That stuff drives me absolutely freaking nuts. Cannot stand people that cannot get their head out of their backside long enough to figure out what they're even doing, so they're holding everybody else up. Then again, unfortunately, that probably wasn't as called for. I probably didn't need to throw as grouch of an attitude as I just did about that. But come the end of my work day, I'm always a little more irritable than normal. On this, I'm going to go ahead and lane split. I ain't waiting on this crap. Ahead and get to the front of the line. I'm done waiting. I want to go home. So much for the slow ride, right? I'm not very good at riding slow. I'd rather ride fast, which is why I really don't need a bigger bike, but I am looking at some housing out here in the California area that is going to require me to do a lot of highway stuff. The R3 is not going to work, not for highway. I have done highway riding with it. Some people that own them are going to be like, oh, I ride it up and down the highway every day, never had a problem. okay, I've been on the highway with this bike. Don't get me wrong, it'll get up and do the speed, no problem. But when I look down in 6th gear and I'm up in the 9,000 mile, the 9,000 RPM range, doing 70, 75, trying to keep up with traffic, that just does not work for me. I would rather have my bike in a very comfortable position at a low RPM range or a mid RPM range. Don't you do it, I saw that. But at a low or mid RPM range and be able to ride it nice and, smooth, than have to keep looking down and going, oh God, is it okay for this little motor to be at 9,000 RPMs for the next hour and a half to 2 hours that I'm going to have to be on this highway every single day? I just don't know if this bike is capable of that. I haven't had a whole lot of experience with the R3. Mine's coming up on 3,600 miles. Obviously, it's still a brand new bike. I haven't ridden the crap out of it. Where I'm living now is about 15 minutes away from my job, give or take. So there's really not a whole lot of excess driving that I do on this. Occasionally I'll take it and run a quick errand here or there. But otherwise I mainly just use it for the 15-minute commute to and from work. Like I said though, I have taken it on the highway, on the 15 freeway, and gone down about an hour ride, hour and 15 minutes or so, and it ran phenomenally down, and it ran just as good back up. But like I said, it's just a little uncomfortable. It gives me a little pit in the bottom of my stomach looking down at 75, 80 miles an hour and seeing I'm up at the top of my rev limiter there, and I just don't like that. I'd rather be on the low side, kind of in 6th gear, doing 70, 75, whatever, with an R6 or an R1, and be down in the mid-range, mid to low range, and not really have to worry about it because I'm not putting that much stress on the motor. Then again, this bike could handle the stress just fine. I could never run into an issue. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have the experience with that. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to keep riding my 300cc bike up and down the highway every day. Eventually something's going to take its toll on there, and I'd rather have something a little bit bigger for safety's sake, just in case I do need to get out of the way. And I know even if I downshift on this is not going to give me the speed takeoff or anything compared to one of those larger bikes. And I need something where, like I said, if I can get out of the way a little bit quicker, I'd be more comfortable with that rather than trying to worry about whether or not my 300cc downshifted into 4th gear at 11,000 RPMs is going to be able to make it around the semi before it merges on top of me. So it's more personal problem, I guess, than anything. I love this bike. Don't get me wrong. It's been a great bike. I've done a lot to it. I've had a lot of fun with it. And there's probably 900 more things I could get away with doing to it that I probably haven't even thought about. But at the same time, it's still a small CC bike. Yeah, it's good for track and daily commute in town like I'm doing now. But outside of that, what else is it really good for? I mean, if I could get away with doing what I've seen online, I've been doing some research, and I have seen that there is a gentleman, if I remember correctly, over in Europe or over in that general vicinity that has an R3, or the, I think it's the YZF 250, I think is what they call it. But he put a turbo on there and got, I think, 18 more horsepower out of the bike with minimal boost. I mean, he didn't even build out the motor, nothing super fantastic. But if I could get away with figuring out how to do the same thing, put a turbo on this, and just kind of open it up a little bit more, I mean, I might just keep this around and keep the the payments to nothing because I practically own this bike. I bought it brand new with a small loan, and I'm just about already done paying it off. But on this, like I said, I would just want that little extra power, especially if I'm planning on using it for a highway commute. I almost feel like it does need that 18 extra horsepower. I could probably get more out of it by doing the turbo and then adding a power commander and then having everything mapped properly. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm willing to invest that much into this bike to get it that far when I could just go and get a naturally bigger bike and do less to it and get more out of it. But it has been a day. I'm coming up on my last section of the ride, my most favorite portion of this ride. It's the reverberation wall. I get a lot of sound and a lot of feedback off of the wall from the exhaust, especially since I am running a custom exhaust. I haven't ever really told anyone what I'm running as far as the exhaust goes on this. Obviously, it is quite a bit louder than anything else that most people have stuck on these. It's louder than the Akrapovic. It's a lot louder than the M4, even with the silencer pulled out of it. I'm actually running a slightly modified, really cheap to do exhaust. And a lot of people will say, oh, you'll ruin this, you'll ruin that without this, that, or the other. And no, you won't. So I have had no issues running my modified exhaust on this bike. So it's been an interesting exhaust, but I am going to just go ahead and keep what I've done to it as far as the exhaust goes a secret. I don't really want anyone to know what I've done with it. So this is where I leave you guys.